Hello and welcome to a high-level overview demonstration of the Jobs module in Dynamics 365 Business Central. In this session, we'll take a look at the key areas included within the Jobs module, including the components that make up a job record and how to register costs and usage and invoice customers. Each job record represents a project and will comprise of job task lines, which are where we set up and record the phases of a project, and the job planning lines, which are our expected costs and which can either be budget planning lines or billable lines. Let's take a look at a job record to see how it all fits together. The first thing to note is that my role center or landing page here in Business Central that I've set up to use is the standard project manager role center, which is perfect if your role is to manage jobs within Business Central. So here I have an overview of invoice information, and then if I scroll down, I've got job actual prices to budget prices, profitability, actual cost to budget cost information as well. So let's go into my jobs. I'm going to select jobs. And this brings up my job list page. And I have one created already, which is Project X, job 00060. So let's click on that to open that up. So first of all, we have the job header. And then here we've got the customer information, the bill to customer information, so customer name, number, address, that sort of information, general information about the customer this project is for. Now, if I scroll down, we then have the project task lines. So these are the phases of the project. So my project here, I've got things like a requirements phase, a design phase, configuration, development, etc., depending on what type of project you're working in. Once the entries are posted against this phase, actual total costs and invoice values are updated. Note on the side here, on the right-hand side here, I've got a fact box with details of the job. So I've got a quick overview of the costs, budget costs, actual costs and prices, and invoice details as well for my job. As I scroll down, I have, for example, a foreign trade fast tab. And here I can determine a currency code. And if I put a currency code in here, then this then allows me to manage the job and invoice in that currency. And then I have at the bottom here a WIP and recognition fast tab. So here I can set up, manage and post the calculation of work in progress for this job. Okay, scroll back up to my task lines, and then from a particular job task line or job project phase, if you like, I can go to line, job and job planning lines. And here's the actual detail, the lowest level job detail for this job. So here I can have job planning lines of either a type budget or a type billable, or in this case, for these three planning lines here, they're both budget and billable. The job planning lines with the type budget indicate the expected usage for a job task or project phase, while a line type of billable is the actual usage that's going to be invoiced to the customer, for example. To create new planning lines, just click New, put in the details here. I can select a type of resource, select my resource or an item, or a GL account for that matter. I can select the quantity, I can put in the costs and the prices. I can set up specific cost and prices for a resource or an item for this particular job, or it can pull through automatically from the resource or item setup, for example. Okay, once we have all the lines set up, we can now apply these lines to sales and purchase documents. So I'm going to come back to my job. Just come out of the job, and then I'm going to go and find purchase orders. Now I've created a purchase order already for this demonstration. So that's 106069. And when this opens, you'll see that it is just a standard purchase order. So we've got all the details about the vendor number and address, posting date, and all that information. And then on the order lines, I've selected an item number here. In this case, for software licenses, we purchased 12 of those with the unit cost, total cost, and what have you. The only difference here is that I've actually selected our job number, J00060, our project X, and the task line that this applies to. And when I post this, this is going to apply this cost to that job task and job planning line. So let's post the order and see what effect that has on our order. So I'm going to receive an invoice. It'll go through and post the order as normal. I don't have a look at the invoice for now. So let's go back into my job. So my job list, project X, J00060. And now, for example, once it's loaded, you'll be able to see that against the job, we now have an actual cost for items for £731.59. And it was posted against this design planning line. So if I go to the planning line, when this opens, you'll now see that we've got a new usage line added for software licenses with the unit cost and the total cost in detail in there. So once we've got our purchase lines added and we've also got our billable lines, we can then charge the customer for our services and for software licenses, in this case, whatever else it might be. We can do this directly from our job planning lines. So I can go to Actions, Functions, and create sales invoice. And I'm going to create it for, I think, that date there, and the invoice is created. I can go to Actions, Functions, Sales Invoice, Credit Memos. And here's the sales invoice that I've created. Okay, and you can see that it's pulled through the software license, quantity of 12. And again, it's just a normal sales invoice, but with the job number tied into it. I'm going to put my reference in and post my invoice. Okay, I don't have a look at it now. But I will go back to my job card and it will load up again. And now I can see also that I've got an invoice for an item for 7,200 down here. So it's passed on there. And then finally, from the job card, I can go to Related, History, and Job Ledger entries. So each job will have a history of all the entries that have been posted to it. And I can see here that I've got a usage for an item, already had some usage for a GL account, and I can also see the sales invoice that we posted as well. So that's a very quick overview of the job module within Business Central. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like more information about the modules, please contact Tisski.